wherever you are around the world. We always are coming to you again. I'm Brother Hubert, Naeem Roberts, Chairman of Black Lives Matter, grassroots in Michigan. We always want to invite our community and say hello to those individuals wherever you are. We want to make sure that you are engaging in something that's positive in our community, that you are loving, and that you are living your life full of joy and full of purpose. This podcast, again, my host, I'm supposed to be here with Satara, and I'm supposed to be her co-host. Haven't heard from her, but that doesn't stop the show. We got to keep moving forward because we want to always be bringing you guys higher conversation. And so, at the top of the show, we definitely want to thank and give honors to all of the staff here at Black Lives Matter. We are working to grow in the leadership of Dewan Robinson, our president, and all of the wonderful people that are engaging and starting to build and grow with some synergy here. We just want to thank our community. And there's so much that we need to do in our community that is pressing us right now. But be that what it may, I just want to say hello. I'm glad that you guys are tuning in. We want to have hard conversations around what's happening locally. A lot of times people are talking about what may be on Facebook or YouTube and all these other things dealing with trivial things. And always understand that power is local. Power is what you see outside of your front door. What truly matters is what you can touch and what you can affect. And this is why we have hard conversation, guys, is we're trying to build a community based on some historical understanding about our purpose and our reason to be alive, our reason to be here. We have a purpose to be here. We didn't come here to just live and die and not do anything, not just wear some kind of fancy, somebody else's label on our bodies, somebody else's purse on our bodies, somebody else's fake eyelashes or fake butt, or however you want to say about even men and what we do. Many times when we don't love ourselves, we engage in superficial things that have nothing to do with building and repairing human beings. We are in a critical state. And again, I must say, we as a people, as a Black community, are in a serious condition. And many of us are failing to step up to the plate. We have those billionaires and millionaires. We have the resources in our community to stop this madness, what's going on in our community and what's going on in this country. We watching people go up in space for what? What purpose does that serve for Gail to go up in this man who is diametrically opposed to our existence? What value does it have to go up in space and come back down? Do you know how much that costs? Do you know the environmental damage that that little trip that they went on does to our planet? And we're not finding another planet to go to, guys. Let's be clear. We have to love and cherish where we are. And this is part of the conversation that we must have when we're talking about a hard conversation. So today, I definitely want to open up and mention we're engaging in some wonderful things in our community. A lot of times people complain about Flint, there's nothing to do. Crime, and all this other stuff. Everybody's just well. Even the pastor or the pastoral leadership in this community is not focused on being those pastors that are active pastors. What I mean about an active pastor, we talking about a pastor that is engaging against a system that is diametrically opposed to our existence. So it's not about a radical pastor. It's about a pastor that is living in the now and understand the future, that know that we are behind the eight ball and need to be engaging collectively. And again, we don't have to march. All we have to do is control our spending. We really don't have to protest. We can just stop spending our dollars with communities and with people and with places, spaces, and things like the NBA. What's getting ready to happen now with the NBA playoff? We should boycott those things, every element, every facet of those things, because they have no purpose in our lives, guys. And what we must be start talking to all these athletes and people with podcasts, why they are not putting or talking against what's going on, people being deported. Why we're not talking and doing something about building a community that our dollars travel 300 and 400 times in our community, that we don't have to be worried about what somebody else is doing, what somebody else is talking about DEI, not employing us, not educating us, not feeding us. We need to be doing these things for ourselves. This is what we need to do. This is what we have to do, as opposed to wanting to run out to Davis and Grand Blanc, Flushing and Goodrich, and talk about the inner city, no school, or anything like that. Yes, our school deserve to have resources. When you talk about music class, art class, wood shop, home economics, all those soft skills we used to have in our school system, they need to come back, and we need to bring them back. We need to step up, guys, and stop waiting on some welfare check or somebody to give us something. Listen, James Brown wrote a song. I don't want nobody to give me nothing. Just open up the door and I get it myself. They have told us to get a PhD, to get a GED, to get a master and bachelor and everything, and now they still saying that's not good enough. Now they want to eliminate and erase our history. We are letting them erase our history. Who does that? Who lets somebody come into their house and erase their history? We should be ashamed of ourselves. These singers and Usher and all these people you guys gravitate to, how dare we allow ourselves to engage in this kind of activity when our community is being destroyed and we're running around here with our hands out begging for something, and we, as far as collectively what we spend in this country, we are the 10th largest consumers in the world. We are a country in ourselves, Negroes in this country. What we spend, not what we save, not what we share, what we spend with other people, not what we have for one another. Every black person is only 50,000. It's only 50 million black people in America. That right there in itself, guys, is a country, and there is no reason why we should not collectively own all the hair stores, all the liquor stores, all the gas stations. If we want to party and go eat, we need. If you want to go out on Miller Road, everything on Miller Road where y'all go, we should own it. It should be right here on the north side. We shouldn't have to run out to nobody else's neighborhood. It should be in our neighborhood. Why do we run to other people's neighborhoods? Because we've been culturally conditioned to want to be clear. We want to be white. We have a mayor that puts his name on garbage cans. Do you know how much it costs to put your name on garbage cans for 87,000 people in Flint, Michigan? We have a population of 87,000 people. He put his name, and that's ink, plastic that he used to put his name on it. We still 11 years in for the water crisis, and our children, you wonder why our children are out of control, and even us, all of us have been poisoned. We've been poisoned since 1907 to begin with, when you talk about the carriage, and then we had Dow Chemical here, and then what they were, before they had any regulations, they were pumping all that pollution in the Flint River. So the Flint River's been dead for 100 years already before we get started with that. We've been poisoned. But what they did intentionally, what they did in 2014 is appalling, and we still have not been healed. No one has went to jail, and we sit back and we still go to the club and pop off, and we cool, run around smoking weed, playing a lot. We are some fools and we deserve the way we're being treated. This is a hard conversation. We got the ministers in this community. How many ministers are on the front line fighting for the rights of our people to be healed? If you're going to church tomorrow, we are going to Easter Sunday. Everybody is gearing up for Easter Sunday. What did Easter Sunday really mean? What is that travesty all about? Because if you're saying you believe in a higher power or you believe in something, you should believe in it so much that you believe in your community first. How are you going to believe in something else and not your community? How are you going to believe in something else and not your own brothers and sisters and your next door neighbors and the neighbors across the street from you? How are you not going to believe in something else and not believe in those children that are homeless, that are poor, living in poverty? Our brothers and sisters, we got over 500 individuals at the county jail right now. The county jail is deplorable. And what they're doing down there is unacceptable. Any ministers go down there trying to help bail out some of those brothers that are in there, that's been there for 3 years, and their case haven't been brought to trial because they don't have the money. They indigent, they poor. And it's just a game. It's a zoo down there because all of the clear people make all the money off the dark people. That's been from day one since this country was taken from people that was already here. This country is a criminal enterprise. And you got a criminal in the White House. And you got those that follow someone that has been rightly convicted. And I do believe that there is an opportunity for anyone that have made a mistake or went foul of the law, that they can repent and come back out in society and get it together, and they need to have a second chance. But when you double down and continue to do wrong, when you continue to engage in wrongness, then you should be held accountable and should be smashed and squashed because you're no good for nobody, not even yourself, if you continue to want to do what's wrong. So I would like to take a moment and always talk about some work that's going on, guys. Uh, we are always recruiting and looking for talented people that want to be engaged in a community that's working to uplift our community, uplift each other. We cannot do this by ourselves. And I know everybody is chasing the bag, chasing the diamonds and chasing the Birkin bags and the Louis Vuittons and all those things to make you feel good about yourself. But how dare you want a bag and you can't go anywhere because your streets are a mess. Your school is a mess. What is a Burger bag or a Louis Vuitton or a Gucci? What is a Gucci chain going to do for you and your child can't read and you can't read? Explain that to me. Make that make sense. You can't read and your child can't read, but you got on diamonds and pearls and you got on all this fake stuff, but you want to be seen and accepted, but you can't read. And then you mad at the school system because we supposed to send our children to school already prepared. Education starts at home. What they do at the school level is supposed to just finish and tighten some stuff up. But education starts at home, in the house with the mother and father and the grandparents. That's where it starts, guys. We got it all mixed up where you're going to send your children to your enemy and your enemy is diametrically opposed to your existence. Do you know at one time in this country, you would get killed if you were black, if you knew how to read? You would be beat to death. Your tongue would be cut out of your mouth if you was caught reading. Yeah, that's what this country is about. This country castrated black men, put syphilis in men and women intentionally. That's what this country has done to black people. And we continue to want to believe in somebody that's going to save us because we have been brainwashed to believe that we are nothing, that we have to be taken care of, that we have to engage in welfare and all this other stuff, that they give you crumbs for you to exist at a crumb level. That's our fault because, again, we have the money collectively amongst ourselves. Just the other day, Marvin Sapp Close the door, lock the door, because he wanted $40,000 from his permission. Those people that was in the church and online, he said he needs $40,000. This is amazing. Now, you can go to YouTube and see that. Marvin Sapp, what's the song he sung? Some kind of song he made millions on. But I'm just saying, he said lock the doors. He come back and say he didn't say lock the door. He said close the doors because the city he was in Baltimore, and he said the church neighborhood that he was in was a rough neighborhood, so he just wanted to protect the people inside. Y'all make that make sense. But he did that. He said, people online, I need $20 from everybody online. I need $20 from everybody in the church. And all you people sitting on the pulpit, I need $100 and close the door. Now, that's what he said. Now, you can go check it out. I am never going to lie to you. Now, let's get back to some business. So, always, we are definitely looking for individuals that have a heart to want to make an impact in your life and in someone else's life. So we here, our address is 2712 North Saginaw Street at the Oak Business Center. We are Black Lives Matter Grassroots Flint. Black Lives Matter Grassroots Flint. I am Brother Hubert Naeem Roberts. My phone number is 810-394-4105. My email is mentorroberts@gmail.com. We're engaged in a few things. We got the Juneteenth celebration coming up that starts May the 31st and then June the 22nd. There's going to be activities engaged every day in June, but we're starting in May, and it kicks off with the Day at the Lake training. That's the Day at the Lake training. That's going to be at 947 Leland Street, Bethesda Temple Church. Pastor Jimmy Whitaker is the president. A lot of us work under him, under the tutelage. We've been doing this for 19 years. It's an amazing, amazing experience for our community. We believe in teaching our young people or even older people how you can fish and eat forever, as opposed to just buying you a meal for you to eat 1 hour, 1 second. So we believe that fishing is akin to life. It teaches you all the tools you need to know in life. And we want our young people and older people to have tools in their toolbox when they're dealing in life. Like fishing has a thing where it teaches you patience, it's discipline, determination, dedication, even sometimes your string or your gear and your string, your line can get tangled sometimes. The same way with your life can get tangled. Then sometimes you can untangle your life and you can untangle your line. But there's sometimes when the line is so tangled, you got to cut it. The same thing in life. There's sometimes we have to be taught how to cut people, places, and spaces so we can achieve the thing that God put us here to achieve. All of us was put here to achieve something. We were not put here, guys, to be captives. We were not created to be illegally captive people in somebody else's land, because that's who we are. I don't believe in this slave thing. I believe what's going on, we have been illegally captive and taken from someone else's country and forced here against our will. And this is something that you have to have a reckoning with. So, the Day at the Lake, again, is May the 31st from 9 to 5. And then this is for the whole family from 2 months old all the way to 2,000 years old. Everyone can come, participate, learn. It's a joyous training time. We really want you guys to really, 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 really make this a part of your Saturday, May 31st. I guarantee you, you will have an awesome, awesome time, and we're praying and we're claiming victory that God is going to allow the weather to be amazing on those 2 weekends on May the 31st. And then on June the 7th, we go up to Shea Lake. Shea Lake is the sister to Ottawa. Ottawa is up north, up in Baldwin, Michigan. It was a black resort. Cherry Lake was a black resort when their resorts were segregated. I know that's hard for you guys to relate to, but at one time you couldn't go to your white, you couldn't go to your Cedar Points, you couldn't go to your Disney and all those places that y'all love to go to. So we had to have our own. So Cherry Lake is one of the places that was closer down here outside of Lapeer County that we go to, and that's where we're gonna go for all day fishing derby. So we do measure sizes of the fish you catch, you win a prize. If they're big enough, we do eat right there. If they're tiny and you can't see them, we throw them back. We don't play with the baby. But if they're big enough pit bulls, we would come there, disappear, they'd be in somebody's belly. Chump, chump, chump. But what we try to do is make it fun, enjoyable, and children use a lot of their skills that they learn through the training. And that's the whole purpose of going to the lake. We do boat rides. We have a pontoon rides. We do hay rides. We do nature trails. We have basketball, football. We have a lot of different game horseshoes. There's so many things for the children to just go up there and just holler, scream, and nobody's telling them to stop. They can just do whatever they want to do. And you can't beat that when you just let children go in a safe area they can do and just be children. That is a wonderful experience to see them do it. It's like a metamorphosis that children get up there. They can just be who they want to be. And it's a beautiful experience to really witness. And you guys need to go to our site, www dot mcarflint.com is the website for our fishing trip. So that's www.mcarflint.com is the site where you can look at what we have been doing for 19 years. I guarantee you, you will love it and want to be a part of it. The other thing is we are engaging involved dad community impact. We have a program, it's a partnership where we are greeting students at 6 area schools. This Monday, we greet students at 6 schools every Monday. This Monday, we're going to be at International Academy at 7:25 a.m. That's International Academy on Saginaw Street at 7:25 a.m. We greet the children as they get off the bus going into the school. Why do we do this? We do this to celebrate them, to encourage and motivate them, to let them know that they are loved, they are valued, they are precious. We let them know that they are needed, they are somebody. We try to say good morning, doctor, good morning, Madam Governor, good morning, Madam Congresswoman. Just all different types of things we say to them to help them to have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. It is so important for all of us to feel that somebody validates us and value us. When you hear someone say, "Good morning, how you doing?" You're identifying. Eye contact is so important. Our children need eye contact. They need words of love, words of encouragement, words of just excitement. These are the things that our children are striving and thirsting for because so often all they are getting is negative and negative. The country is just so full of negativeness. And so we work to counter that because we know the goodness of what that can bring out in a child. You know what it does to you. How do you feel when somebody say hello to you? Do you turn your head and show you a lot? And I like today I was with my sister, and I do this a lot of times as an experiment. I go to different places and places. She go a lot of places. So I'm with her and I'm speaking to everybody. People try to ignore you. They want to ignore you so bad they running into the wall. Isn't that sad? You say hi to somebody, they oop, hit the wall, hit their head on the wall because they're looking down. That is sad, guys, pathetic. But that's what we do when we're afraid to be human beings toward one another. So yes, we are at 6 area schools. On the first Monday of the month, we do Southwestern and Eisenhower. Southwestern is at 7:25 hours. Hours at Eisenhower is at 8:40. The second Monday, we're at Eagles Nest and Brownell. Eagles Nest 7:25, Brownell 8:40. Third Monday of the month, we're at International Academy 7:25. Fourth Monday of the month, we're at New Standards, and that's at 6:45 and 7:45. They have two starting times. 6:45. Yes, we'll be up at 6 o'clock in the morning. So The other area that we have started a through Involved Dads Community Impact. We have started in partnerships. We have started a lunch buddy program at Brownell that is every Monday and Friday from 12 to 12:30, working with fourth and fifth graders. We are like being surrogate dads to them to help counter some of the challenges that they're having, and they need to see good representation of what real men look like. And so we're going to be working with teaching them about ties, how to tie a tie, how to tie a bow tie, about body etiquette, about personal responsibility, about loving themselves, and just really working with them to pour into them a sense of purpose, a sense of direction, and just a sense of love. That they're getting love from a responsible man, because many of the children that we're dealing with uh, don't have fathers in their lives. That's very impactful in our community. The other area we're at Southwestern Academy. Our Rites of Passage program is there. We're there Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays from 1 to 2:15. That's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 1 to 2:15. That's our Rites of Passage program. We work with 9th through 12th graders. And they and them too, we're working with them to really pour into their life to help guide them in a direction that could be healthy and benefit for themselves, their family, and our community. Because there are so many things that our children are missing because there's been generations of misses. And so what we're trying to do is do what we can to have an impact as positive as possible. We're trying to eliminate our children going into the penal system, to getting in any trouble at the juvenile center. They built a brand new $35 million juvenile center on Pasadena Street. They have not built a new school in Flint, Michigan, as far as the school board hasn't built since 1980. So that shows you what they value. You can tell what people value where they spend their money and their time. And so this country was started on the backs of Black and brown people, and it has been associated with the history of exploitation since the early 14th century. And that is not by accident, it's been by design, and we have been tricked into a burning building, like Dr. King said. And what are we doing about it? We have a tendency to go along when we receive peanuts or we receive a little acknowledgement, meaning you get a doctor's degree in anything. You can get a doctor's degree in America and not know anything about Black culture, but you can't get a GED and not know something about the white culture. This is how things are set up here. And again, we keep buying into not to dismantle or disparage anybody else's culture. Everybody's culture is valid. But what happens when your culture is deemed to be superior to someone else's? That's where we have a problem. And you feel that it's okay because you no longer need the slave or the captive people that you once had to do all of the work that you didn't want to do. And now you are exploiting other nations. That's what part of the trade war is. When they talk about NAFTA, I don't know if y'all remember NAFTA with that was what's his name, Bill Clinton. That was the trick. They threw NAFTA in there talking about international trade. You can't have no international trade when somebody in another country is working for 2 cents a day, but we got unions, collective bargaining, and you got a standard of living. How are you gonna compete with somebody that's making something in another country for $2, and then your salary in this country starts at maybe $21 or $22 an hour, and tack on the insurance and all those other things, dental and all that, eye and all that other stuff? Again, how do you compete? You can't compete. And most often now, people can't really buy new cars unless they are deeply in debt or just got that money, because even most new cars now are starting at $80,000. Who got $80,000 and then what house you gonna live in? And then how you gonna pay the insurance? Do you know how much it costs for insurance in Flint, Michigan? We pay the highest water rate, the highest insurance rate. I mean, y'all think about how they have mistreated Flint, Michigan. And we go along with it. Look what the city council is doing. Look at the games they've been playing. $95 million came into this city. Where did it go? Can anybody answer where did that money go? We have a mayor who is supposed to be our chief executive officer to protect the residents. He has done nothing, nor has his wife. And now he's running again. We deserve how we are being treated because we are unwilling to have a hard conversation where we can get people in those positions that are willing to do the work for the people. It's all a game because they play the numbers. We vote at 14%. 14%. That's nothing. That's a joke, guys. It's 87,000 people in Flint, Michigan. There are over 40,000 individuals, men and women, that have felonies in Flint, Michigan, and they deserve a second chance. They deserve their criminal records to be expunged because, again, they still use that to enslave us. They still use that to put us in captivity. Yes, you have done something wrong, and you no longer in the history of your life should have any opportunity to gain any employment, guys. When all the crooks that's in Congress, the Senate, lawyers, and all those people, they are crooks. Their children are crooks. And then they got the nerve to demonize other people, and we sit back and let this happen to our community. We deserve the treatment that we are receiving right now by the hands of this ultra Satan, along with his Satanists from South Africa in those seats of power. We deserve it. Our ancestors are bleeding and are suffering in their graves, in their misery, because how we are letting them down. Do you have an understanding what Marcus Garvey is feeling? What Nelson Mandela is feeling? Stephen Biko, Robert Smith, Denmark Bassey, Cheikh Anta Diop, Henry Dr. Clark, Charles Ogletree, the Black Eagle. The Black Eagle, when you talk about Joe Madison, man, Paul Lawrence Dunbar, those are the things that I'm talking about when you understand Randall Robertson and Dr. Frazier and Dr. Price and all these individuals and Madam C.J. Walker and Fannie Lou Hamer and Ella Baker, all these beautiful sisters that gave their lives for us to be in this position that we're in today. They were our mothers, and they are crying out to us to stand up and not lay down for this insanity. Because what we're doing is making their work in vain. All the sacrifice, Fannie Lou Hamer being beat, being kicked, and being stumped while she was pregnant. And we got the nerve to sit back and smoke marijuana and drink some liquor. We got the nerve to watch Idiot on television, where we sitting back eating fried chicken, lemon pepper chicken, and that's all right. And our community and our children can't read, can't write. Now they're eliminating any opportunity for our community, and we sitting back and allowing it. We're more together when we was picking cotton than we are today. And I don't think any of you guys are going to go back to the plantation. Maybe a lot of you guys are still on the plantation, never left the plantation from 500 years ago because you got the plantation mentality, because your brains are chained up to wait on somebody to save you when they have showed you year in and year out, we're not saving you. You not like us. They make it very clear. You are not like them. I know you give your life for them. I know you married them. Like Tiger Woods said, he's a combination. Like Serena Williams with her husband. I mean, these are the things that we do. We marry these other individuals. And what kind of conversation they are having in the state of the conditions that's going on today? How can you allow somebody to dismantle and to erase you out of books and ban books that talks about your honest and true history? It's not telling a lie. It's talking about the truth that happened to us in this country, and they are banning books. They are erasing our history, and we are sitting back and letting them. Who does that? Jewish people don't let them do it. Chinese people don't let them do it. The so-called, I don't know, these other ethnic groups, they make sure that their culture is highlighted and protected. But we let anybody come in and tear us up because we want to be accepted. We want to use bleaching cream. We want to be closer to clear as possible so we can live in Grand Barry, so we can live in Davis. So we work these jobs that we can't be who we truly are. And I'm not saying you go into a job and you have to be ignorant. No, 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 no. You should be able to work where you're not harassed. You should be work where you're not in a job that you're being hunted and you're being played against and you're being lied on. And everything you do, you're being second and third guessed because even your degree that you got it from a prestigious college is not good enough because you're black. Every college student in America should be walking out of class today. If they saw their fellow student being arrested and deported, how do you still go to that school? Your fellow student that you've been vibing with being deported, and y'all go for it. Every school in this country should not be in. We got to take the power back. The only power we got is our dollar. We got to take the power back, and the power is with our movement. Don't go to class no more, guys. Don't go to football games, basketball games. Don't go to clubs. Don't go to restaurants. Don't go to Walmart, Target. Don't go to Gucci, Louis Vuitton. Don't go to Disney World and all this other stuff. Don't do it. Let's just don't do it for 2 months, guys. Just let's live as minimum on the grid as possible, guys. Lord, let's go back to just eating some bologna and bologna and cheese and bologna and crackers and water. Let's just do it raw dog. You know what I mean? Let's just do it like they say that gorilla. We're gonna do a gorilla diet. Gorilla diet is gonna be an air sandwich. You gotta drink water. Can't be Flint water. So we gotta get bottled. We gotta get bottled water. That's something else we need to do. We need to focus on how do we get our own water, where we don't have to go to Walmart or all these other spaces and places that are definitely not identified with us. They are saying they are moving their policies to conform with white supremacy. But we don't want to have that conversation because you might lose your job. You're going to work tomorrow, going to work Monday. They say, "Oh, you was on the podcast. You was talking about it." Well, if the truth is the truth, don't be afraid of the truth. Change it. You don't have to hate another individual because they are black. Who does that? They haven't done nothing to you. They showed up in God's bandages or by God's package. We all got a package from God. Our package is who we are. We show up in our package. And every other culture shows up in their package. Why can't your package and my package be celebrated? I say good morning to many people that's not of my ethnic background, but they still part of God's plan. And I'm supposed to acknowledge them and say, "How you doing, brother? How you doing, sister?" And that's how I greet everybody. I don't care what nationality it may be. And it is offsetting for some because they don't hear that a lot. Like, "How you doing, brother? How you doing, sister?" They like, "I'm not your brother. I'm not your sister." Don't greet me like that. You're supposed to say, hi, how are you? I'm working on that. I'm working on my hi, how are you? I'm working on that. So y'all got to pray for me and lay hands for me because I'm a work in progress. You know, I am a work in progress. So you guys got always, and that's something that how we coach one another. We all are a work in progress. And we have to be mindful about what it is that we need to do to make sure we're doing the things that are preparing our families, our community for tomorrow. Not just being able to eat today. That's the whole essence about being able to teach us how to fish for a lifetime. We can't be a tree without roots. Anybody know what happens to a tree without roots? A tree without roots is dead. And if we continue the way we are going, we are going to be a people without roots because we are refusing to make sure we understand our roots, where we come from, what we're connected to. So if you don't know what you're connected to, you are subject to do any and everything, whatever the wind blows. You go get a BBL and you don't need a BBL, but you go get a facelift, you go get pink and yellow and purple hair, you go get all these eyelashes, the eyelashes are so long they hit the door, and you be looking like a butterfly. And again, our men, got to talk about us as men. We walking around here are mixed up, tripped up because we've been so feminized because many of our men were destroyed intentionally. So we've been raised. Now, let me be careful here. Women are the first nurturers, and they are the foundation of life come through women. And I believe women are smarter than men. I do personally. That's just my personal take. But I do know that man element is so important in a child's life, guys. You got to have that male influence, guys. They got to have that yin and that yang. They got to have the man and the woman and the family and the community to keep together on the same page to build up our community that's going to make them sustain themselves in the world that we living in. So I give a call out to our men, and most of our men, I ask you guys, you know, you guys need to apologize for abandoning your women, abandoning the children, for not stepping up and being dads, being real fathers. Even if you're not in the home, you still can be the father, guy. And then you can be the father to the kids down the street next door, guy. Not preying on our children, not selling our children, not trafficking our children, not setting our children up for the dope trade and all that stuff. No, no, no. Teaching our children the right way to go, the right things to do. God created man and woman for a reason. It was not an accident, but the women are the first nurturers. But you can't have one without the other. And that's where we have been neglected our responsibility because we got tricked. So you can look at it statistically. If you did an analysis, and they do, and you know it's true. That's some of the things we did. So you can see the line graph as far as when women started, when World War II was coming to a close, and the women were working outside of the home. You could see a shift in the power dynamics in families and how women were pushing for more rights. And when a person has more rights, they have autonomy and say, well, I make as just money as you make. So you can't be controlling me or tripping me up and saying, well, it's my house. You do what I'm supposed to do. No, she said, it's my house too. I got half on this, I got half on the baby, and I'm taking my half and I'm gone. Now that ain't the way to handle the situation, guys. But that's how we get tricked. Because now it's supposed to be our money. We make a plan. We have a budget for the house, for vacation, and for savings and all of that. Working to pool it up. Even if you got a little bit on the side here and there, but it still is honesty where we are collectively saying we are a couple, we are our team. How do we build this together so we can build and have something for our children's children, children, children? How do we build legacy like Walmart? Walmart is one of the largest companies in the world, along with Home Depot. That is by a family. Walmart is a family. I think it's 5 of them left. Jeff Bezos is the second or third richest man in the world, Amazon. And his wife that he divorced, Mackenzie, she is a billionaire through their divorce. And she is donating a lot of her money to some positive things, but their mindsets is based on greed. We are engaged in supporting and loving things and not human beings. That will never, never work, community. That is a failed recipe for some serious, serious, serious problems because no one can get enough things. Just like being an addict. Most people, like Richard Pryor was a millionaire. Part of his muscular dystrophy was because he was able to get how much dope he wanted to get. Unlimited amount of dope. Robin Williams, the same thing. Robin Williams was a drug addict. Do y'all know Tim Allen? Tim Allen was a drug addict. Tim Allen still be on TV. Now, Tim Allen, cocaine, drug addict, and user, and was in Jackson prison. But he's been able to become a millionaire again. Martha Stewart, stock market trading. They still love her. She's still a millionaire. Oliver North. Oliver North, with their lover, Golden Boy, Ronald Reagan was engaged in illegal trading guns for dope. Brought the dope into California. Highway Rick started to crack cocaine that poisoned our community intentionally, guys. Ronald Reagan, the president, along with Oliver North, started all that bull. And they still celebrate Ronald Reagan today as he's the golden boy, as he's one of the best presidents in the history of mankind. And he poisoned 4 and 5 generations of people. But no, y'all don't want to do an analysis on that history. Oliver North, eventually he became a gun merchant and a mercenary. And his salary right now, he's in consulting now, but he makes over 15 million a year just consulting arms. He's an arms dealer. This country is the #1 arm dealer in the world. This country's budget, military budget, is larger than all countries on the planet, y'all. Think about that. We spend more money on bullets and weapons to destroy as opposed to education, housing, people, insurance, anything that's supposed to give life. We don't spend money on that. But the things to take life, we spend money on that. That is nothing but evil there, guys. And we, again, are celebrating these things because we don't know our history. We've been brainwashed to believe somebody else's story, and we're afraid to create our own stories that are collectively joined. We have stories that are collectively joined, and we are ashamed of that because every time you were told anything about Black, it was negative from the day you were born. That mindset has to be rooted out and have to be unchained. And that takes work. That takes a willingness to want to clean yourself up. Like Elijah Muhammad was talking about with the nation. Want to clean your filthy self up as far as you thinking about yourself in a negative way, because that's what the enemy imposes on us. It wants us to get up in the morning and hate ourselves, hate our neighbor, hate our children, because you're doing the work for them. They'd have less to do. We're going to stay in our place because we have been created to stay in our place. And many times, LeBron James, all of them are staying in their place. None of them, what they do to Colin Kaepernick? They made sure he didn't have a job in the NFL when he took a knee. He didn't even say nothing. He took a knee. But what did these other people do? Oprah Winfrey haven't stood up on nothing. On nothing. And why am I clout chasing her pocket? Yeah. I think she has a responsibility in the community. You made the money in the community, in the black community, white community, in this community, then you're part of this community. So you have a responsibility to this community. All of us have a responsibility to one another. All this, why you watching my money and all that kind of stuff, we supposed to be watching the money that is rightly ours. We never received it, number one. Number two, yes, we all have a responsibility to give back. You cannot take $1,500,000, $100 billion house with you when you die. You can't take a Mercedes, a Maybach, or nothing. You can't take nothing with you when you die, guys. So share it. This country is 5% of the world's population. This country is 5% of the world's population, but use 55% of the world's resources. That's unacceptable, y'all. We are 5% of the world population and lock up 25% of our people. That's insane, y'all. This is what I'm talking about, higher conversation, guys. We have to have a higher conversation because Tupac says, spark the mind. They asked Tupac, what is your reason for being alive? Tupac said, I believe I was placed here to spark the mind of the community. And that's what I'm going to do. All of us are put here to spark the minds of one another, where we are lifting each other up and not tearing each other down, not hating on mother and father, sister and brother, cousin. Maybe I violated you or I took some money or whatever. I apologize. I was out of my mind. We have to have some forgiveness, guys. We forgive everybody else that wrongs us, that don't look like us. We'll forgive the police in a minute. We'll call the police knowing they're going to come to kill us. They're not coming to de-escalate a situation. So we need to be calling Black Lives Matter for us to come out and help calm things down, guys. Y'all need to be calling us because you cannot trust a department that was started to protect white property. And that's what we were, and that's what we still are to the dominant culture. They feel we are their possession to do whatever they want with us, and there's no law on the Constitution that they have to abide by. There's no law on the Constitution or any law, policy, or ordinance that protects Black people in this country. And we still believe in this illusion. We just want to be loved by somebody that hates us. We just want to be accepted by someone that's diametrically opposed to our existence. We just waiting for them to offer to marry us or to allow us to be in their community or to go to their restaurant while they spit in our food in the back when they make it. But we enjoy their spit. See, we enjoy their mess. We engage in that because for 500 years, that's all they've given us. And that's why we are suffering from real mental illness in our community. Now, I want to double. I want to double back on making sure that we have a clear understanding about the things that are going on in our community. We have Juneteenth. Now that's going to be a celebration for a month long, guys, from May the 31st to June 22nd. A lot of things going on. We're going to have on June the 15th, we're going to have a Father's Day program at Memorial Park. Dr. Weaver and Dr. Reynolds is going to be speaking to men. This is going to be a men's event from 2 to 6. And then on June the 20th at McCree Theater, I'm playing Frederick Douglass, and Elliot McCann is playing Malcolm X. We're going to have a fireside conversation, he and I, about today's condition. They're going to make me up like Frederick Douglass. I don't know if any of y'all remember Frederick Douglass. He was the brother with the big afro. And then I know you guys remember Malcolm. So we're going to be having a lively conversation. It's going to be from 6 to 9 at McCree Theater. We want you guys to come out for that. We're going to be over at the Sloan Museum. We're going to be at the FIA. We're going to be at the Mother E. Hill Deloney celebratory dinner, the youth dinner. So there's going to be events going on everywhere on the south side, north side, east side, west side. And then we're going to have a wonderful June the 19th parade. It's going to kick off at 9 o'clock at Max Brandon Park. That's down the Old Forest Park is where it's going to kick off. The parade is going to start promptly at 5. I am co-chairman of the parade committee. And so this year we're doing some things differently so we can be more efficient and professional. That we're not burning out there in the sun. That we're gonna have this moving and grooving. We're gonna put some funk on it. We're gonna put some P funk on it. Flashlight. And so, also, I want to remind you guys again about the programs that we're having at Brownell, the Lunch Buddy program. Again, we need men to step up to want to be a part of that program. It's from 12 to 12:30, Mondays and Fridays. Contact me. My number is 810-394-4105. I'm Brother Hubert Naeem Roberts. My email is mentorroberts@gmail.com. Also, greeting our students at 6 schools. That's in partnership with Involved Dads Community Impact. And also, in that other piece, is Brownell is also part of Involved Dad Community Impact. The Day at the Lake, May the 31st, June the 7th. Southwestern, the Rites of Passage, Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays from 1 to 2:15. We're going to be dealing with 9th to 12th graders. That's always interesting. And so, again, in closing, it's always important that we are engaging in. I always like to leave some lessons that we as a community can do. So often people will be on podcasts and just talk. And they talk, and talk can be entertaining, but we want to talk with a purpose, guys. So one of my asks for the community that you guys are watching this is that you go and you greet someone that you don't know, that you ask forgiveness for a family member. Did you pull a family member to the side that y'all may have been beefing, guys? Pull them to the side and try to work on a dialogue where both of us can say, I'm sorry, forgive me for what I did, I wronged you. Let's start there, guys. Let's also take our shoes off and hug a tree. That is so essential, guys. If you really just think about it, you take your shoes off and you hug, be intentional about hugging a tree. You can commune with that tree, and that tree is part of connection with the universe. Those elements that make up that tree is in the universe swirling around outside of our solar system. So you're connected to a tremendous energy. Please try that. Also, I want to encourage you guys to consider taking some time out with someone that's a little older than you. Uh, a lot of times people are languishing in our nursing homes and don't get visits. I need you guys to consider or adopting a nursing home to just go visit. I think that would be a real positive thing to do. At one time in our community, do you know we couldn't send our people to nursing homes because nursing homes were segregated. So our grandparents, and I remember this because I lived with my grandparents when I was growing up, and they didn't go to no nursing home. They died in the house. But I'm just saying, we didn't send our people away. We kept them. And that wisdom, guys, when you are engaged with an elder man, when you are serenading and talking to someone that's older than you, it's magnificent, man. You get so much information, man, about how things work. Because things are not that different, guys. Things are not that different. And you know how things are not that different? Because even clothes and shoe and hairstyles all have a cycle, guys. One time it's fashionable, then it's not fashionable, then it comes back. So that shows you there's nothing new. So that's why that information with someone that's older than you is so important. The other thing I like to share with you guys, I would encourage you guys to listen to Grant Green, A Time to Remember. And then the book that I would ask you guys to check out, and maybe if you don't read it, at least listening to it on audio book. Chancellor Williams' Destruction of Black Civilization would be an awesome, awesome book to read this week. And even if you don't want to spend the time reading it, get it on Audible because that way you can walk around and you can listen to it. And I do believe that it will help impact your life and change your life because we're in dire situations. And I do believe in history, all points in history, there was dire. It's just a little more dire than the next. So we need to understand what our purpose is. And our purpose is to win. Our purpose is not to lose, guys. Our purpose is to win and to win big. But you can't win if you don't believe it in your heart. If you don't believe it in your gut, if you don't believe it in your fingers, if you don't believe it in your toe, how you gonna win? You wake up being a loser. In our mentoring program, one of the things we tell the children, the first victory in your day is making your bed. We stress making your bed. That's your first victory. When you make your bed and celebrate that victory, you're going to have victories throughout the day because it takes discipline. The first thing you do in the morning before you use the bathroom, then you make your bed that you laid in. That's creating discipline, dedication, and determination, guys, that you can build on. See, it's those little things that you take to build on. When you talk about losing weight or doing this, you got to have some elements where you're going to be committed. That you're not going to fall off and say, oh, I'm just going to get. No, no, no. You stay to it. I remember when we was trying to learn how to walk, we was crawling at first. But we sure enough got up there and we fall, we got up, we fall, and then we figured it out and we was scooting on and we started running. It's that level of commitment that we got to have for one another. We all are crawling to some degree. And because we have people that are against us, they done put roadblocks and hills and mountains and valleys in our baby, and we still shine, guys. We still shine. That's what makes us such an amazing people. And that's why for some reason people hate us so much. And we don't do nothing to them but love. Now that is some sickness, guys. When people hate you and you still love them. That is some real, real sickness. So I like to. We had a beautiful intern is here along with Miss Alice. As far as being our technicians today, we have Miss Bailey in the house. She is along with Miss Allen. They are running the boards. I was asking them to get on our website, our Facebook site, so they can read the comments. We like to read the comments back and forth and talk to the people. They calling in and talking and talking. We like to say, if you got questions, like to answer the questions and things like that. So that's why we're trying to build our podcast back up where it's active and engaged, and we're actually giving out information to do. So your to do is what? Say hello to someone that you don't know. Try to work with your family for forgiveness and engage some of the things I talked about that we're doing. We would like for you guys to come to be partners. There are some tremendous things that's going on in Flint, Michigan. It's all not down there at the City Hall, even though the City Hall is where the money lies. But there's a lot of things we can do ourselves. We need money. Don't get it twisted. We need righteous money. And we need money because we're going to put the money into good use. So again, I'm brother, and thanking my technicians back there. And again, I'm brother Hubert Naeem Roberts, Black Lives Matter grassroots chairman. And always, I like to leave you guys with Wakanda out.